Yeah, I don't know, Colton. You're still no video. I don't know about you, Kudrow. Can you see his video?
I cannot.
Huh.
It's something every week. This is as much a part of the show as anything else at this point.
Yeah. Got to get back into the routine, I guess. I don't think we have any audio from Colton either.
Seems like it.
Well, I guess we can get started.
How was your week, Quinn?
Not terrible. Trying to think of what I did. It's been 2 weeks, right?
Oh, I guess it has been actually.
I don't know. I watched the new Attack on Titan episode. I don't know if you watched that.
I forgot to do that. I'm that type of guy, like, once I start watching a show, I watch it until I'm done with it, and then I'll move on to something else. Like, right now, I've been watching Better Call Saul, and so now it's like whenever I start watching something, I just watch that. I'm going to watch that till I'm done with it, and then I'll probably start catching up on my weekly anime.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the next episode, I mean, obviously there's another episode, right? Because it's Attack on Titan. So, maybe you just wait and want to watch everything else. Because, like, it's going to be another 6 months before the next episode comes out. Which is, like, okay, I guess. But because, they're animating it. Because I'm sure it takes a long time to animate all that. And,
yeah, but if it's the final part of the final season, I would hope they would have.
So is that confirmed that it's actually going to be the final part of the final season? Because I have a feeling that it's going to be split up again. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know if they have enough. Because aren't they extending it past, with the manga or manga, however you say it?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different show, but I thought I heard something like that, but I may be wrong.
It's very possible.
Considering how they're milking the show, I guess it wouldn't surprise me. So.
Yeah. Just as long as it doesn't become the Demon Slayer movie. They definitely are milking that right now.
Why do you say that?
Okay, so I mean, I went to go see the Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, yes, it was exactly what they advertised. No, it really wasn't worth going to see it in theaters.
Gotcha. You don't think that seeing those episodes in theaters was worth it?
No, I mean, yeah, it was cool seeing them on the big screen, but the kick seeing it the second time just wasn't. It's just not quite the same. Other than that, but I mean, it was kind of cool seeing new content, though. I mean, you got, what was it, 45 minutes to an hour of new content. So, but even then, though, like, it didn't feel like a movie. Like, you even had like the end and beginning credits for like episodes.
Hello? Oh, you guys can hear and see me.
Yeah.
But now finally. I can't hear you.
You can't hear us?
Oh, no. This is impossible.
Colton, what is your setup?
Changes every week.
All right, guys, that was.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hear us? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that was exciting, huh?
I mean, you can blame it on the cats, right?
I don't know. I just had to restart my whole computer, and then when I restarted it, the TV took the sound, so that's why I couldn't hear you. It went to my TV.
No, that's odd.
Typical issue, yeah. Happens to me sometimes.
One cool thing I found out. So I play basically. Now I used to play across a shield, right? To play across my house, but with the new house setup, I have my TV over here and I run a 20-foot HDMI cable to the TV. So from the Windows has a Xbox Game Bar. It's like Windows G, and it opens up this menu, you can hit the Xbox button on your controller connected to your PC. It brings up that menu, and then you can use your controller to navigate around. So, major thing, I was on the couch last night playing Persona, as my wife requires I do every night, or she's not happy. So I'm sitting on the couch and I realize, oh shit, I forgot to change the audio to the TV. I'm like, I wonder if this works. And I press the button and I could navigate to the game bar, go up and change the sound output with the controller. So the game bar has developed into something actually super useful for the purpose when I'm playing on the TV.
So do you have to go back and change it every time after then? Is that the issue?
No, no. It like when I restarted the computer, it changed it to the TV output for some reason. I don't know why. The TV's not even on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, sorry. So while I was dealing with technical difficulties,
we were talking about anime.
Oh, I love anime. You know me.
Yeah, I was just telling Quinn how I went to go. I did go see Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village, which is now currently seen in theaters. I just don't think it was worth seeing in theaters. But
what
was there anybody dressed?
What 2-word response did you have for us, Kudrow?
2-word response?
You know, usually when you see something, you have like it was okay, it was pretty good. You know, like there's.
I mean, that's kind of what he said. Honestly, he said it wasn't really worth it.
I don't know what more you want from me, Colton.
So, and that's like you'd said, like it's the 2 episodes of the last season plus 2 episodes of the new season.
Correct. No, one episode of the new season.
Yeah, it's like extended episode 1 of season 3.
But episode 1 is like an hour long, I believe. That's why.
That seems kind of dumb.
So
yeah, that's part of the problem. Like, I feel like I didn't go watch a movie. I literally felt, and they even like bad part is like even like episodes 10 and 11, like literally started off with like the intro song, and had the ending credits still in there. So it's like, wow, I really am just watching individual episodes.
That doesn't feel very good. How many? Because doesn't Dragon Ball Z does the same thing, right? Like, do all of them do that? Because the Dragon Ball Z movie, like Resurrection of F, was just the anime episodes, like condensed into a movie.
No, actually, it was the other. Actually, it's kind of the other way around. Resurrection of F was a whole movie, and it felt like a movie. But then when the Dragon Ball Super anime came out, they actually took the movie and greatly expanded it and arguably destroyed its pacing. Actually, probably the same for the Battle of Gods arc as well.
Dragon Ball Z has always been known for its pacing.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. That was a joke.
Well, I will say I did see a lot of people complaining about the Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah.
Because they thought it was an actual movie, even though it was marketed as, you know, here's the last 2 episodes of season 2, the first episode of season 2. A lot of people had comments that are like, "What? I was lied to. Like, what happened?"
Yeah. No, it was exactly as it was advertised. I just thought maybe it would actually be. I don't know. At the very least, they could have like cut it out to where you could have like, you know, took the last couple episodes, at least like removed the. You know, maybe only gave it one individual opening sequence and then let the fight play out as a whole without actually having the ending credits in there. So it could have just flowed as like one long episode.
That doesn't seem like that hard of a thing to do either.
But that costs money.
Yeah. Or at the very, and then like, and you didn't get like anything like big and climactic with the episode 1. Like, I mean, you got set up for what the rest of the season is going to be and what it's going to look like, but it definitely did not feel like a movie.
So I have one question, Kudrow. Did they actually have all the Hashiras in this first episode? Or not Hashira, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. The what are they? The moons?
The upper six. The upper six demons.
Do they have all of them?
You do see all of them. Because
Okay.
so technically the one that Colton, cover your ears if you don't want to be spoiled.
Oh no. It's probably fine.
All right, fine. Okay, so technically, because they killed number 6 at the end of season 2, and then you finally see 5 through 1 in the very opening act of the next season. So
Gotcha. Okay. Because I know they advertised that in the little trailer that they showed. So I was just curious if they followed through. But you also see, I think it's number 3, I want to say, in the Mugen train, right?
yes, I believe that's number 3.
Number 3. It's either number 2 or number 3. I'm pretty sure it's number 3.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm almost certain he's number 3. Like I'm like 98% sure he's number 3.
So I was excited to see. I want to see all of those because I don't know. They just seem like they'll be very powerful, considering how number 3 fought. But yeah,
Guys,
we don't get to see any of like their blood demon arts or anything like that.
gotcha.
So
I've really messed up something here with my monitor stands. Still learning how to use these here, and I knocked some kind of lock out of place. Yeah, we'll just go with that for now.
So now they're moving up and down by themselves or something.
But we'll I can't get this one to sit in the position I want it to.
Do you need to tighten like the pneumatic pressure or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's how mine are. You need to like tighten and loosen the joints.
That's
so
exactly what I need to do.
Yep.
However,
You need like an Allen wrench, I think.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I gotta find it. Oh. Anyways.
Go ahead.
So the big news. Starfield releasing September 6th. No.
Okay, I saw that, and then I saw another thing saying Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 come out like right around the same time.
Dude, I like, okay, so there's too many games this year. I got a list here.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of do, like a little, I guess, segment here of what are we watching and playing in or what do we look forward to watching and playing in 2023?
There's way too much. Heck, I mean,
this month alone, even if we're just counting movies, like I can think of a few more that I'm gonna go see, and I'd maybe go see a movie like once a month, every other month.
Okay, so maybe we need more preparation for this because there's too much content out there.
If I'm just rattling them off, like let's see here, I'm probably gonna go watch John Wick 4 when that comes out. I'm probably gonna go watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves. For the comic book fans, there's the new Shazam movie, which I haven't even seen the first one of those, so I probably won't be seeing that.
That makes Colton happy.
I'm gonna go see the Mario movie, and I
was gonna say Mario.
That's early next month.
That's all that's on the list for me.
Actually, didn't that get pushed back? I heard that got pushed back to the 5th.
I thought they brought it up to the 5th. I thought they moved it like 2 days earlier.
I thought it was the 7th originally.
Yeah. But I think it was the 7th, and then they moved it to the 5th.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening on the 7th that they had to move it to a midweek showing?
I don't know.
More money? What did they get? More like box office money technically if they put it on Wednesday?
I'm not sure.
It's a workaround.
Like, so all the all the adults can go see it during the week because on the weekend it'll just be flooded with children. That's my one guess. I'm not sure why else they would have done it.
I think it'll still be flooded with children during the week.
Yeah, April 5th. It's kind of weird for a movie to release on a Wednesday.
Could it be when's Easter? Could it be for that reason?
I don't know. Easter is wait.
The 9th. So that's probably why.
Oh.
Maybe they moved it so they could get more people before Easter.
Sure.
Because Friday is a lot of people are off on Friday probably, but
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kudrow, what I was more interested in though was games this year, because I feel like there's like just too many games. Like as Quinn said, Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield, which I am extremely interested in both of those games. I've now gotten back into the idea of Diablo 4 being awesome. You know, Resident Evil 4 remake looks cool. Final Fantasy 16, but I don't think that PC release might not come before the end of the year. So maybe I won't have to play that this year. I gotta play the Metroid Prime remaster. Tears of the Kingdom in May. What else? Anything else? I started playing Wulong Fallen Dynasty. Had you started playing that yet?
Like I still haven't played it past the demo. Like I have it downloaded and everything. I just haven't started it yet.
Does the demo go to that first like boss encounter?
It goes through the first 2 levels.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, like the dude with the giant mace, or
and then his like second form.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have any trouble beating that guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like the gameplay is a lot like it reminds me way more of Sekiro than like your standard Souls game.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, very deflect heavy, and but yeah, I admit that dude took me some time to beat. I actually had an easier time with the bosses on the second level than what I did on that one.
Gotcha. So as before I go into that, playing it reminds me of Sekiro, but also it kind of has like the feel of like a bit like old action RPGs, like Ninja Gaiden kind of. Which I mean, it's in the same vein, and it's Team Ninja. Like, but it feels like some of those. I don't know. I got that same feeling kind of from that I got like playing like the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden game or games.
I don't know about that. It's definitely an evolution on the Neo formula.
See, I haven't played Neo, so maybe that's the piece I'm missing.
I feel like you need to. Like, you're sitting here, like, you know, we're playing loot grind RPGs. That's literally what Neo is. Like grinding for loot is a huge component of that game.
There's just a lot of loot grind out there to play.
I do want to play What better loot grind can there be than one that uses Souls-like elements to it? And what makes it even better is it's literally, like, the best Souls-like game. Like, I know you played Code Vein. I know you played
The Surge 2.
Thank you.
That's a good one. I did like that one.
And I assure you, Neo, and particularly Neo 2, is superior to all of those.
Neo 2's on my list. I'm skipping Neo 1 because everything I've seen suggests Neo 2 is basically just a better version of what Neo 1 was putting out.
I'd agree with that. Honestly, the only thing I'd say is like some of the end mission and story content isn't gonna make a lot of sense unless you have the context of
it doesn't matter.
Half
the enemies I fought in Elden Ring were just Godric. It's like, oh, it's golden Godric with armor. It's, you know, it doesn't matter.
But you didn't pay attention to the story, did you?
No, I did. I tried to, but like they all just the names all just flow together sometimes. And he kind of looked like Godric. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's a different version of him.
I think this is just more an indictment on the American education system for reading, because Colton can't tell the difference between Godfrey and Godric.
Yeah.
He said God, and then the rest of it was, gone.
And then,
it was God.
And then,
Godric, they're all Godric.
Then if you read the item descriptions, you can even see a Godwin in there.
I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Anyways, Quinn, what games are you?
No, that's a good question. I think I'm gonna give Zelda another try. I think I'll probably get Tears of the Kingdom.
How much time in total did you put into
Not enough.
Wild?
But I don't think I gave it its good enough effort, I guess.
Wow. So you started that game and dropped it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a tendency to sometimes I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed.
Too many games.
not too many games, but sometimes, and this is not fair to the game, but if I don't have like a clear path of what I should be doing, it'll kind of overwhelm me
Right.
with options like, oh, I can go do this, I can do this. What am I supposed to be doing? So then I just don't do anything.
But like, do you feel like there's just like too much to do sometimes? Like, because what I've gotten before is like open world fatigue, where I'm like, I cannot play another open world game right now. Where I just like get into the open world, I'm like, I don't care about all this shit. I don't want to do any of it right now.
I don't think so. I think another big issue was I started playing it and then I dropped it. For the reason that I said, but then I wasn't familiar with the controls, and I had for some reason I was having big issues with the controls. I wasn't able to fight very easily. As
I gotcha.
Zelda goes off in the background.
Well, were you? I guess
Colton's wife's playing Breath of the Wild.
That's true. Yeah, I think I guess were you playing other games at the time? Because one thing I have is like, for playing those games, the Nintendo ones, it really throws me off if I'm trying to play a different game and then switch right to Zelda because it's backwards.
Right, because the buttons are flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably was playing a lot of Rocket League, or I don't know. I probably was playing other games, but I think if I commit to playing the new one on a regular basis, like every night or every other night or something like that, on the portable version of it, maybe then I'll have better luck. But I think I went past the time of being able to not understand the controls and fight certain enemies, where it was like it's not even worth it for me to try because I'm just bad at the game now because I don't remember the controls. And the other thing that pissed me off was the what's it called, the weapons. They would just
the weapon degradation. Yeah, it annoyed me at first, but once I got a little further and had a stock, I just had fun with it because I was like, I got into the fun, like you can just chucking weapons at enemies. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, there eventually reaches a point where like you can start, well, like I started grabbing weapons from chests like, oh, I want this, but I also have an inventory full of all these other awesome weapons.
Right. Yeah, I never made it to that point. So I was always like, I had a little bit of anxiety of like, oh, I can't use this weapon because if I use it, it's going to degrade and I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, you're a bad item user. I'm a terrible item user. I hold on to everything. I'll play an RPG and I won't use any of the fucking items. Then the end of the game, I'm like, look at all this useless crap.
Look at all my stuff.
What do they call it? Mega elixir syndrome? Yeah, I have like 3 mega elixirs I've collected through the course of the entire game, and I refuse to use them for anything.
Yeah, that's how I play pretty much every RPG, and I can't stop. Like, I'll be like, oh, I should use some of these items, and I just don't. I'll be like, but not right now.
Yeah, but I think I'll give that another try. So we'll see.
Kudra, the one thing on Wulong I wanted to ask you about. Okay, so when you beat the first boss, did you use the base sword you had, or were you able to find a different one?
I think I was actually using the base sword, actually. Because I was either using that or I was using the pole arm, but I actually found the sword vibe with me a lot better.
Did you start with a pole arm? Did I just not figure out how to equip that?
Yes. You don't start with a pole arm. You can, well, you can find one, whether it be through a chest or through enemy drops.
I gotcha.
And then you can equip 2 weapons, I think, at once.
Yeah.
And
because I can beat up the first guy, and I beat him. I'm like sick, and then his second form showed up, and I was like shit. And I've played the second form a couple times, and I'm getting better at it, but we'll see. I think maybe this weekend I can get past the second form.
Well, the good news is you don't have to beat the second form entirely. I think you got to get them to like half health.
Oh, I was so close. Oh, I was right there.
And then it will.
Now you ruined the game for Colton.
I was probably like a hit away. I thought I had a whole like 60% to go, so I was right on the doorstep. All right, that's good to know.
Colton gave up. He's like, I'm never gonna beat this guy.
No, it's the classic Souls trick where you just got to leave the game alone for like a day.
Oh yeah.
I just haven't got back to it. I'll probably give it a try again this weekend. I do like the gameplay. I'm interested to keep going in that.
But seriously, like that first boss is brutal. Like I was actually beginning to think like this might be the hardest Souls-like game I've ever played because I can't think of an opening boss that demands more of the player than that one.
Maybe what's that? You'll know the name of it. I don't know the name. Dark Souls 3, Champion something.
Champion. Wait, really?
Gundyr?
No, it's not Champion Gundyr. Champion Gundyr you encounter in an optional area later. They're talking about.
Why do you know all the names?
Because I pay attention, Colton.
Well, why do you remember all the names?
Not everything is Godric to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, Gundyr, and no, that did not. I did not find that fight to be that demanding.
Yeah.
So I found that fight to be hard at first, but I feel like the hard part about the Wulong fight is it demands that like parrying consistency for a length of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that's the hardest part, like, because I think it like really demands you to be able to do it for like quite a while, as opposed to just getting it a couple times and being able to win the fight and move on.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
it's a really cool game, though. I'm definitely excited to play more, and I probably will play more of it this weekend.
Yeah, me as well. Should we get into our ranking of this week?
I was gonna say that, but before I just had to tell everybody I bought the Overwatch Battle Pass. I caved.
Oh, sick.
I wasn't gonna spend any money on Overwatch, but
yeah,
I caved and bought the Battle Pass. So
I have to ask, what does the Battle Pass give you?
Oh, it just gives you cosmetics, so you can look cool. So I look like I actually play the game instead of just using the regular skins. But I'm also terrible at the game. I'm bronze 5 and everything, so and I've been playing for forever.
I'm terrible at League, but I still buy skins for that. That's what it's all about. Then people can flame you and say, "Wow, you spend money and you're bad." You know, they like to really go after that too. Sometimes it's like, what do you want me to do?
I spend money because I'm bad.
Pay to win.
But no, it's like before. Every time I play competitive, it seems like if we're playing a team that absolutely destroys us, everybody on the team has skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can just tell that they've been playing for long enough that before it went free to play, they had loot boxes, so they were playing Overwatch 1, so they got loot boxes, they got skins, so they know what they're doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just out there trying to win. But anyway. We can move into ranking a cage now. I just want to share that.
I'm proud of you.
Maybe I'll get out of bronze someday. Probably not, though. I play a mean Zenyatta.
Oh, nice.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite person to play.
I used to play a lot. Reaper and Ana were the ones I played the most.
Ana's fun to play.
Yeah.
Usually if I play DPS, I'll play Junkrat. And then I'll switch like after one death to Sojourn, who's the new DPS.
Yeah.
She's just easy to play.
I played with that one a couple times when I tried it out too. I played a ton of Persona. I'll next week I'll have some more Persona updates. I'll probably put a bunch more time into that.
Yeah, I'm proud. Colton, I feel like I'm proud of you for that. When I bought Persona 5 Royal and it came in the mail, I received so much judgment from you and your wife. You most especially.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes.
Kudrow, you are playing Persona and enjoying it.
Kudrow got Persona 5, and I talked the most shit to him about Persona 5. I didn't know what I guess I knew what Persona 5 was, and I'd actually heard it had really good reviews, but I wasn't playing it at the time, so I don't know. I just made fun of Persona 5 for a good 4 or 5 months. And now I've played all of Persona 4, and I'm like, in
now you both play it.
Yeah.
Every night.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I'm ahead of Kudrow. He hasn't played 4. He's not a real Persona fan.
He is right. I have not played 4. It's in my Steam library. I just haven't played it.
It's in the backlog.
Of the ever expanding backlog.
Let me figure out what number this is here, guys, for ranking of Cage.
What a terrible movie.
12? This is episode 12. Yep.
When we're supposed to give the review after we talk about it.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to build it up.
Let me hold on. I got to get to my notes.
I don't want to give Nicolas Cage any more royalties.
All right, here we go. All right, this is Ranking of Cage, episode 12, Wild at Heart. So Wild at Heart, released in 1990. Your two main stars in this movie are Sailor, played by Nicolas Cage, and Lula, played by Laura Dern. It's a weird movie. It kind of opens up and you don't really know what's going on, but a random guy is like accusing Sailor of trying to have sex with Lula's mother, and then pulls a knife, and then metal music plays and Sailor violently kills him and then smokes a cigarette. And the movie doesn't really get any less weird from there. The biggest thing with this movie is I didn't know what the hell was going on, and like it's kind of hard to follow like all the characters and the assassins. The general gist of the movie is Lula's mother doesn't like Sailor, and it's like, you can't date Lula, and Sailor doesn't listen to that because Sailor doesn't care about that. And Lula wants to be with Sailor, and they go on to have weird, like, music-backed sex scenes, and they have weird things at a club where Sailor, like, breaks out in, like, an Elvis song after a metal band plays. And then there's, like, these assassins that are trying to hunt down assassins hired by Lula's mother, she has some kind of weird sexual tension with some of the assassins, and it wasn't completely clear to me. I was trying to figure it out, but it's not completely clear to me what's going on there. And then you have Lula and Sailor who are driving to California, and they end up in this town where they come across a bunch of other weird people. And there's like, and then
wait,
you go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, just to kind of build up the reason for the conflict between Sailor and Lula's mom is, apparently Sailor had worked for someone that had also worked with Lula's dad, who had killed his dad. So he was working for Lula's dad's murderer, which is like kind of like flashbacks.
Yeah, it's like slowly revealed. There's like a fire. And
so one of the assassins essentially killed Lula's dad, like poured gasoline on him while he was knocked out and killed him, lit him on fire. And Sailor saw the whole thing. So it kind of makes it seem like they're trying to kill Sailor because he saw something. I forget what his name is. Whoever
the father, what was
not the father, the guy who he drove for. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh yeah,
Santos.
Santos, right?
Santos, the Santos guy, this mysterious. I don't know. I guess he's like a businessman, or I don't know. But yeah, it's just very confusing. They throw all these characters at you. That some of them are hired hitmen.
Yeah,
some of them are good, but some of them are bad.
That was
Lula's mom is unsure of who's good and who's bad. It seems like
that was the most. I think the most confusing part to me was the assassins and their allegiances. I tried really hard to like suss out what was going on with those, but I don't think I made sense of it by the end.
Right. It seemed like there was some weird like mob boss almost who Lula like contacted and was like, "Hey, I need you to kill Sailor." And the mob boss sent out weird, I don't know, silver dollars or something like that to
the guy
to signal to the guys
like,
that they need to kill Sailor.
in the bathroom where he like takes this phone call and there's like
A half naked woman.
Yeah, I don't understand. I guess to me it just seems like a lot of weird shit like thrown together. And I don't know. There's like, because there's the references to the Wizard of Oz, and I was trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, how does this relate to the Wizard of Oz? And I never figured out how it relates to the Wizard of Oz, other than like saying, "Hey, look, this is like the Wizard of Oz."
Right. Yeah. To me, it's another Nicolas Cage movie where the director or the producers were trying to do something very abstract that didn't work. So you can see they're trying to like create some abstract plot that's tied together by all these different weird characters that have all their own unique, I don't know, backstories and things like that.
Yeah.
Especially the assassins, like the weird lady with the limp and the cane and her posse, the two dudes. And then they kill the other assassin. I don't know. It's just a whole garbled mess, in my opinion. And then they just throw nudity and like flashbacks in there for who knows why.
Yeah, I wish we could have somebody who has like a positive opinion to come in here and explain to me why this is art, but I don't know if maybe I just don't get it. But so much of the stuff is like, it seems nonsensical. Like it doesn't seem like it ever connects back.
Yeah. So essentially, Lula's mom doesn't want Sailor and Lula dating, so she hires people to kill Sailor, and Sailor ends up in a weird make-believe town in Texas with Lula. And
Big Tuna, right?
Yeah, Big Tuna. It's a fictional town in Texas. And then they ultimately meet I think the star of the movie, played by Willem Dafoe, Bobby Peru.
Yeah.
Who convinces Sailor to rob a bank with him because Bobby Peru tells Sailor that Lula's pregnant. So he freaks out and he's like, I need money. Turns out they rob the bank. He gets arrested. He goes back to jail. And then he gets out of jail 5 years later or something like that.
Yeah, and then Lula picks him up.
Right. Lula picks him up out of jail again and is all excited. And now she has her son or their son with them. And Sailor's like, never mind. Like, I don't want to. It's been 5 years. I don't want to come into your life and ruin it, essentially. Mm-hmm. And then all the random Wizard of Oz stuff hits again, and it turns out that he believes now that it's a good idea to be together. So then he runs and chases her down over top of all the cars. And
well, right, but because that's after he gets surrounded by that group of dudes that like beat him up.
Yeah.
Which was that a callback to something that I missed? Because I'm like, what? Who are all these dudes? And then they all just beat him up, and I'm like, what? Why did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I think they were all supposed to be gay, and then he uses a slur on them, and then they just like beat him up.
Oh.
Which I guess I don't know what the reason for that is, besides to knock him out so that he dreams of the wizard of the what?
Yeah.
The Witch of the East, I think it is.
Glinda, or whatever the good witch's name was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
That just
felt like shoved in there, though.
Yeah.
Contrived.
So I guess if I can say anything good about this movie, it's like the little parts in between that I like kind of giggled at, but like the overall connectivity. Like Lula has a cousin named, they call him Jingledale. What else?
Yeah, some crazy UFO guy.
Just some of the weird, like, are they trying to like the sex scene where there's like metal music playing, and then they're like vulgar descriptions they go through at the bar. It just feels like they're like pandering to be like, look how weird this is.
Right. It's like they just threw a bunch of weird stuff together and like, this is art.
Yeah.
This is abstract art because we said so.
So like I don't know, I giggled at a couple parts, and then like all the then like the hitman or like the one like makes coyote noises, and then the other one makes like dog noises.
I don't know.
And then they like meet the like lady who like is doing some kind of weird trance thing, but I still don't understand what any of that was.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was supposed to be like some sort of like black magic, because it seemed like they were kind of associated with maybe the Bayou or like, you know, New Orleans or, you know, something like that, like Creole type of something or other. That's what I kind of got from it. But yeah, it just seemed like they threw a bunch of things that make you uncomfortable.
Okay.
I just felt very uncomfortable for
right. Okay,
I would
so
say
maybe that was the
95%,
idea.
95% of the movie for some reason, even though the two main characters were the least, in my opinion, were the least weird characters.
Mhm.
I mean, they even made Lula's mom a psycho. Who painted her face with lipstick. Like, I don't know. It didn't all make sense. But I did like Bobby Peru. Bobby Peru is cool. Willem Dafoe, he did a good job acting as him.
I'd agree. I thought his acting was good.
Besides that weird, like, sexual assault that he did.
Oh yeah.
In the hotel.
You know.
That was weird. But other than that, yeah. Wouldn't watch it again.
No, definitely not. Some interesting things. Multiple times he talks about his jacket and how he says this represents a symbol of my individuality, belief, and personal freedom. He really likes his jacket.
PSA: snakeskin jackets will look good on no one. Don't do it.
Yeah, like when he was fighting that guy in the bar right after he got out of jail, they went to that like rock concert bar, and Lula was like dancing with the other, I don't know, metal guy.
Yeah.
And before he even does anything, he's like, "I'm wearing my snakeskin jacket because it represents my individuality." And you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, and then he from there it breaks out into like an Elvis style performance. And then did you notice the weird like audience screams that were like the screams from like a giant like stadium inside this small bar? It's like they just took like screams from an audience in a huge auditorium and cut them into this scene inside this like small bar room.
I didn't notice that. I did notice that Nicolas Cage sometimes had like a Elvis like accent. Like he would just randomly pop up, and I'm like, okay.
But why?
I don't know, because I guess he was supposed to be like Elvis.
Well, I think that was he was doing that because he was trying to woo or, you know, get in Lula's pants some more, because like there were also a couple times where he was literally singing Elvis songs to her throughout the movie as well.
I mean, that was the big symbolism at the end of the movie. He finally sung what's it called? The Hold Me Tender.
I'm not very good with Elvis songs. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's called Hold Me Tender, which is like his, or sorry, not Hold Me Tender, Love Me Tender, which is like one of his most romantic songs, I guess.
I recognized it sounded like an Elvis song, and I was proud of myself for that. Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems like they threw a bunch of random crap at the wall.
Yeah.
And somehow made a movie out of it.
I would agree. You got Jingle Dale. He stays up all night making sandwiches. So he has mental problems, it seems. Like, and it and then
it did nothing for the story.
I don't. Yeah, it's maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like to be uncomfortable, and that's the whole thing.
That's what I think they were going for, because there's just so many portions, especially in the beginning of the movie, where I just felt so uncomfortable that I didn't even want to keep watching.
Oh, gotcha. I guess the discomfort didn't bother me so much, but
I mean, like when they came across that girl that
Oh
at
yeah, the car crash.
or whatever.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the car crash. There's so many random things you could just not
Right.
say, and they would have no effect on what
Right.
the story of the movie is.
And there's no context behind them either.
I guess the car crash was supposed to be like a bad omen for them leaving, but with all the random other stuff that's happening, I feel like you can make the argument for those things. I think one of the weirdest ones for me was when Nicolas Cage was laying on the bed and he had a radio on his feet, and he was like holding a string, like a string was tied around the radio, and he was holding up with his feet in the hotel room.
Yeah, he's like, by then they'll be driving Buicks to the moon.
And I'm like, what is going on here? Why are you doing this? It doesn't it makes zero sense.
Yeah. The movie's senseless. I think that's the
takeaway.
Kudro, tell us 2 things you liked about the movie.
Two. Okay.
Right,
so
tell us one thing you liked about the movie.
All right, let me think. So number one, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I felt like Willem Dafoe's, what was his character name?
Bobby Peru.
Bobby Peru. Yeah. I don't know if this was intentional, but when he died, the shotgun and the cop taking his head off, I found that unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And then Nicolas Cage is like feels bad for him for some reason, and you're like, "What are you talking about? Dude's a creep."
And let me see here. The final one of the final lines from. Let me see. What was it when he was running away, going back to Lula? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I called you guys homosexuals. You taught me a very valuable lesson about life.
Yeah. So weird.
And maybe that's the entire point of this movie. We're trying. It tries to be a drama when really what it is meant to be is a nonsensical comedy.
Okay.
Just to show you all the weird people in the world.
So
maybe
one thing to add here, I see on IMDb. So this was actually based off a novel, Wild at Heart, the story of Sailor and Lula, and then changed into a movie. The screenplay was written by David Lynch, who also directed it. But okay, so it's a book. It's got to be a weird book.
Well, David Lynch is a pretty famous director, though, right?
I think so.
Yes.
But he missed on this one.
Yeah.
But you can't write all winners, so.
All right. Should we rank it?
Yeah, let's rank it.
It's
been so long since I remembered all the other Nicolas Cage movies that are terrible.
Most of them have been terrible.
Besides Raising Arizona. That one was
and even that was only, I feel like even that was only average.
All right.
I chuckled a bit.
Wait, well, hold on. What's the B there? What's that?
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Yeah, we got Raising Arizona in the B tier. So we got Time to Kill, which we put all the way at the end of the F tier.
I don't remember that one. What was that about?
So I think for me, this movie is, I feel like it's so disconnected and not good as like a story, but it's not as bad as Time to Kill. And I do think like the little moments I could appreciate, like Willem Dafoe's acting, just the weird outlandish shit they say, at least, it's got some originality to it. It's not, it was kind of boring at points too, though. So I'm really between an E and an F. I think if F plus was a score, I would go F plus. But I feel like I gotta go E. I think like this is like the low end of the E tier. Maybe
what's an E right now? What is that movie there?
That's If It Could Happen to You, the movie with the lottery.
That one was good.
Oh yeah, Quinn is the only one who gave it a C.
What's my
Everyone else,
ranking? I didn't think that one was that bad.
it's
I don't
pretty
remember.
bad.
You know, looking back, I don't think it was. I mean, it was better than this. So I don't know if this is high F.
Yeah.
I think I'll give this an E. I'll give this an E for my personal score.
I think an E for me as well. Below, It Can Happen to You. For sure.
I would agree with that. Kudra, what's your score?
Let me see here. I saw a line that described this pretty well. It is melodramatic trash. Despite some positives, it's not good. It's an E from me.
It's an E. Okay. Okay. So nobody's dropping it to an F.
It's not as good as the pigeon suit boy.
Birdie.
Whoa, I thought Birdie was good. I will defend that one.
So I guess in our overall, then I feel like this is probably sounds like we want this in the E tier.
Yeah.
And should we just put it down here at the end of the E tier?
I think so for now. Yeah.
Okay.
We can fill in the gaps later.
Fill in the gaps later. This is end of the E tier. All right. So that is ranking of Cage, episode 12, Wild at Heart.
Flaming garbage.
Was that a comment from someone?
No, it's my comment.
Oh, that's your comment. So can I tell you guys something really cool about the program that we use to make that like tier list?
Sure.
There's a maximum image count. So as I was adding images to build out all the Nicolas Cage films, it's like, you have reached the maximum image number. I was like, shit. So I now need to find a different way for us to do this. I have 20 more Nicolas Cage movies, so I need to have a different setup so we can actually add more. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
I just thought about this completely off.
Sorry, Kudra, go ahead.
I was just thinking, we all have to go see Renfield in theaters, right?
What's Renfield?
The new Nicolas Cage movie where he's playing Count Dracula.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we probably got to see that.
I could probably go do that. I feel like we should do the Mario movie the Thursday after it comes out.
Yeah.
Since we
gotta go see it on Wednesday then.
Oh,
or are you saying the weekend after?
Sorry, I meant the week after. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I think that the Thursday right then will be too soon, where nobody will have seen it yet.
Yeah.
I may not be able to do that, gentlemen.
In the whole week?
Yeah. I have a trip. I'm in the middle of planning a trip. And,
all right, we'll talk about that.
Sure,
after.
everything's gonna happen.
Yeah, but there's movie theaters where you're going. So
we'll talk about it after the show then and plan it out. All right. So, any more show topics you guys got? You guys want to talk about Phantasy Star Online at all? Maybe get play some Phantasy Star Online.
No.
We were still playing Borderlands 2, Golden.
Yeah. Borderlands 2 is a fun game. Maybe we should play some more this weekend.
I agree.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Do we have a new segment that we're doing?
Oh, I was gonna dodge the movie for next week. Quinn, what'd you say?
I said, do we have a topic for next week for any ranking segments?
Yeah, we should. You guys are right. Let's look at our. Should we switch back to a video game movie next week, or you guys want to do another Cage? Let's see what we got.
Do we have any video games ready to go?
We don't. We could look at it right here.
Game movies.
We could watch the original Mario Bros.
I don't know if we can get that anywhere.
Oh yeah, we can't. We can't watch it anywhere.
Oh, Street Fighter! What a sick movie.
I would be down for watching Street Fighter. Actually.
All right, I'm gonna pull up
that old Street Fighter.
I gotta see where we can watch it. Hold on. All right, Street Fighter.
How old's that one? That one's pretty old, right?
Yeah.
Early 90s, I think. Mid 90s.
The original Street Fighter is 1974.
1994?
No, that's
not the right movie.
That's not the video game movie. All right, I don't see that one available streaming anywhere, Kudrow. Let's see what we got.
Can rent it on Amazon for $10.50.
Oh,
Wow, that's surprisingly expensive.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
oh man, we could get started on Resident Evil. Resident Evil's on Netflix right now. I mean, there's like 7 of the Resident Evils, Kudrow.
Weren't those pretty popular though in the 2000s?
Yeah,
They were.
Kudrow, we might have went to the theater to see one of those together. I don't know.
No, you did not.
No, you didn't go to those with. All right. Well, I've been to
absolutely. You might have even invited me, and I probably declined.
You know, I think there's one that's maybe okay. The one where they're on the bus. That's just nostalgia talking. I'm gonna watch it again and be like, this was garbage. All right, so Kudrow, should we do Resident Evil?
I'm gonna hate it, but I'll do it. If
All right.
want to do
It can't be worse
I'll-
than the Nicolas Cage movies.
If we the people need somebody to tier list all the video game movies. So we kind of have to watch Resident Evil, right? I mean, you didn't provide us with any other movies to watch.
I'm looking through the list right now. It's just kind of figuring, like, I always see it. There's the old Max Payne movie. There's the Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li.
Wait, Max Payne? So I watched Max Payne last month. Oh, it was on HBO last month, and then now it's off.
It's gone.
We'll have to wait till it comes back. Have to wait till it comes back. It's a terrible movie.
But
That's what I've heard.
It can't be worse than Final Fantasy though.
Nothing's worse than that movie. Not video game, but just movies in general.
You all have terrible taste.
All right, so is it the first Resident Evil movie?
Yeah, we gotta start with the first one.
Okay.
I think Kudrow, are you ready to watch the Resident Evil movie next week?
He has no choice.
But I will do it.
All right, next week's ranking of.
Like it.
All right, next week's ranking of video game movies, Resident Evil. We'll see how it stacks up against the Tomb Raider trio. Will it come in above them? No, maybe.
Well, what about fan service? That'll be the biggest judge, right? Angelina Jolie. Who plays? I don't even know the character's name.
Mila Djokovic. Anyways.
Is that the character's name or the actor's name?
Oh, I don't know what her name is in Resident Evil, like in the movie. I don't know what the name of the character is, but all right. So Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil, will be our ranking of next week. All right. See you next Thursday.